This is Nihan of EVready Energy, here to talk to you about the truth behind charging maintenance solutions in the EV charging industry. First, maintenance agreements in the EV charging space have more ambiguity than you probably could imagine when you actually purchased whatever maintenance solution that you did. But why? These are electrical devices. They're used by human beings in all climates in an industry where product quality is generally becoming less as more competition hits the market. How something was damaged is pretty much always up for debate, and that's where the vendor gets to define liability. Many of the hardware companies have no physical presence in your country, and they have to pay another company every time they make the decision that they're liable and that they're going to pay for it. Generally, related to accounting, services have to be accounted for a certain date after the purchase of the charging stations. But the challenge in the charging industry is that it's not like normal software or an iPhone that you just purchased where you just start using it. In many cases, there's a limitation around infrastructure and the amount of time it takes to bring infrastructure. And that could be 6 months, that could be 9 months, that could be 12 months. You might have to buy the charging solution for a certain reason today, but it might take 9 months for that first charging session to occur. And it is common for standard warranties to be fractionally depleted before a charging session ever happens. How do you get around that? Every charger has software. You'll often find that charging software providers and hardware manufacturers that are working together within the same unit, what might be wrong with the station will end up pointing fingers at each other. And so, how did you plan for that when you purchased your station? Your electrician, if you have one, likely isn't a software expert. And so, they're trying to work with a software component while trying to fix a potential software or hardware problem. You can only go so far without the cooperation of both vendors together. Many companies will be selling uptime guarantees, which are good, but they have wording that toes the line on how uptime is defined in some cases. And there's a process review to that uptime that is critical to follow for eligibility of that warranty. And then many stations have actually reached end of life, yet they're still being sold even though they can't be fixed with a warranty. And so how do you make sure that you're buying stations that are going to be around and serviced for an extended period of time and that you don't give money to a company that ultimately can't do anything to fix your station? So EVready Energy can help you navigate all of these factors. And there's really four types of maintenance agreements to consider when you're deciding what you want to do. So what are those four maintenance agreements? The first one is hardware only. This is generally a standard warranty provided by the hardware manufacturer or through the software company by the hardware company. Sometimes those are the same companies, sometimes they're not. Next is a vendor hardware plus labor warranty. This is meant to be a comprehensive warranty that says, if your station goes down, we'll pay for your parts to fix and the labor to do so. But the details are very important. Third-party support. These are companies with parts agreements for certain chargers where they'll take on a custom scope solution to physically fix your stations. Some can even be backed by insurance. And then the fourth one is what we would call communication-focused support. This is probably the most unique and best value for a support strategy, where a company that understands the language of charging represents your company in the process of identifying an issue, from identifying an issue all the way to oversight of getting the station back online. The solution can be used with or without options number 3. And for additional support on this complex, costly, and quite frankly, a topic that can feel behind the curtain a little bit, we recommend that you schedule time with EVready Energy.